It's day 8 of the Walk Off the Weight series, and today we're getting strong. Grab a pair of dumbbells and let's go. All right, Killer Bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. Have your dumbbells completely out of the way and let's get started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to today's workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and I want to tell you straight up right now, your Fitbit is probably not going to record today. I know that for some of you, especially if you are just getting started on your weight loss journey, just getting started on your exercise journey, that might kind of freak you out. And that's why I wanted to tell you right now that's what happens sometimes. And I want to assure you, in fact, I'm going to spend most of the workout assuring you that what we are doing today is so good for so many reasons, including weight loss, but it just doesn't meet some of Fitbit's standards sometimes. And I mean, I'm using that as a trademark name. Whatever kind of a tracker you have that tracks your heart rate, that tracks your exercise, that tells you, oh, today you did a good job because you did something that we can measure. My friend, today's workout is so good, it's immeasurable. How about that? I've got a great strength training workout for us today. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. And we are going to do a little bit of walking as well. I mean, I know that you want to get your steps in, even though your steps actually have nothing to do with weight loss. That's a rant for another day, and we will actually talk about that more than once this month. But I know that you still like to get some movement that feels like movement. And I understand that this is probably one of the biggest hurdles that you are going to face this month. Everything that I tell you about weight loss is kind of the opposite of most of the things that you have heard your entire life. That whole eat less, move more thing, it doesn't work for us anymore. It might have, and I mean, honestly, truly, it might not have earlier in your life as well. But now at this age, we have a different set of circumstances that we are working with. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. The thing about being our age is that we are still absolutely 100% capable of exercising just as hard as we ever did. You are capable of doing way, way, way more than the workouts that we do together. But the fact is, you don't need to. And that is what I want to stress to you as much as anything that we talk about this month. Exercising harder does not get you more results. Exercising harder can make weight loss harder. Exercising harder can be the thing that leads to injury and burnout and boredom and not enjoying your workouts anymore. We are trying, like actively trying, to get the most results with the least effort. Such a weird way of thinking about it, right? But here's what we're going to do today. Let me go ahead and start us off with a nice long minute of walking where we can really kind of get our heart rate up, which is sort of a funny thing to do because honestly today is going to be very slow moving. We're doing strength work today, which is hands down some of my absolute favorite kind of work to do now that I'm a little bit older. And I'll tell you why. Strength work is so good for you in so many ways. And I will also just tell you really quickly, we don't have any rest today, so we're going to be moving and transitioning between the exercises. But don't worry if it takes you a couple of seconds to kind of get into the new one. With a nice long interval like this, the full minute, we're not really trying to do a million reps or get a ton done. We're really thinking about excellent form. We're really thinking about building the brain-body connection and activating the muscles that we are strengthening. So now when it beeps, I am going to grab my dumbbells. I have them nice and convenient here. And we're going to get started with side step press ups, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to step to the side and press up one hand at a time. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells. You're going to start with your feet together and your hands right here at your shoulders. As you step out to the side, you're raising that hand up over your head. As you raise that hand, you'll go from having your palm facing your face to facing outward. We're thinking a lot about having our core pulled in nice and tight, moving in a really controlled way. It's not super slow, but it's also not fast. This is not meant to be cardio. When it beeps again, we're actually going to keep our hands right here on our shoulders. We're going to be doing oblique crunches. We're going to come down in a bit of like a half squat and we're going to have our elbows reach towards our knees. And I'll explain that in just a second here. But let me tell you why it doesn't matter if Fitbit registers your workout. My friends, today's workout is building muscles and bones and strength and confidence in a way that simply doesn't get measured through your heart rate. So here we go. Our feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Our elbows are out wide. We're going to come down in a bit of a half squat. And you're going to reach your, for example, right elbow towards your right hip. I'm not touching my right hip. You probably already noticed that. You're simply reaching it towards the side, bending over to the side, and thinking really hard about keeping your chest up, your head up, and simply bending to the side while keeping your hips nice and stable. Now, this is a long interval. If you need to stand up in between, that's totally okay. In fact, we might just do that a couple of times. Totally fine with me. I know you're gonna feel this work right now in your thighs because of this little half squat, but what we are working is actually our obliques, which is the sides of your waist, more like your girdle. When it beeps again, we are of course going to stand up, and we're going to do some curtsy curls. We're going to be doing biceps curls while we're doing curtsy lunges. If you do not care for lunges, please help yourself to kicks instead. Go ahead and get those elbows locked nice and tight into your waist. We'll come down in a curtsy, or you can kick out to the side. Both of them are completely acceptable. This kind of strength work is so good for building that brain-body connection. When you are thinking about how you are moving your body, when you're pulling in your core, really focusing on curling those biceps up, squeezing those biceps, either kicking or curtsying into this lunge, when you are thinking about the muscles that are firing and how your body is moving with precision and care, that kind of work will help you for years to come in ways that are, again, immeasurable. Building a brain-body connection, knowing where your body is in space and time. And by the way, when we beeps again, we're actually going to put our dumbbells down and do one more minute of walking. Going to kind of shake everything out here. Whew. Okay, so come back to walking. And this one, again, I'm not trying to walk very fast. I really am literally just kind of shaking everything out, holding on to the dumbbells, having that grip, thinking about my body the whole time. You might need a little bit of a break from it, especially if this is relatively new kind of work to you. Now, if you are one of my bees who happens to love strength training, you're like, no, let's get back to holding the dumbbells. Let's pick up heavy things and put them back down again. Totally fine with me if you take this walk at like a super gentle, like strengthy sort of a pace. When it beeps again, we're gonna do a front raise, side raise, which is just what it sounds like. We're gonna stand with our feet about hip width apart, your core pulled in nice and tight. One arm is gonna do a front raise while the other one does the side raise, and then we'll switch and do the other hand with a front raise and the other hand with a side raise. The thing about building muscle is that it requires activation through your brain. Now here's the thing, you could simply move the way I move. Here we go with that front raise, side raise. And you will, even just moving the way that I move, you will build some muscle. But I'll tell you, the secret sauce of actually getting stronger is really paying attention, really thinking and focusing on exactly how your muscles are moving in your body. And it's weird how sometimes we don't notice that, how sometimes if we're not thinking about it and we're just moving, we think, oh, of course I'm building muscle, but your body might not be moving the exact way that you think it is. When it beeps again, we're gonna do triangles. This is where we're gonna have our feet a little bit wider than this hip width apart. One hand is gonna go up overhead and face the ceiling the entire rep. We're gonna switch hands. But you're gonna bend down to the side. You're gonna roll that other dumbbell all the way down the side of your leg. This is ab work, kind of like bending to the side like we did with those semi-squatted oblique crunches. But here we go, a little bit wider. But this one, actually, we're letting our hip push out to the side, and then as we stand back up from this, we're actually using our hips and glutes, as well as our abdominals and obliques, to help us stand back up. You may or may not be able to get over this far. I've been working on triangles for a long time, my friend. Let me tell you something. This is part strength and part flexibility. So wherever you can reach is exactly where you should go. Don't reach over any further than you can recover from, and make sure that your lower back isn't volunteering for any of this work. When it beeps again, we're going to be doing deadlifts. Going to have our feet just about hip width apart. We're going to bring them in a little bit closer. Going to really make sure that we push our hips back for this next one while keeping our back super duper straight. You are welcome to move at whatever pace really feels best for you. I'll encourage you not to go faster than I am. Here we go with deadlifts. I'm turning to the side so you can really see. My hips push back, 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 back. Your back stays straight. You might get your back more or less parallel to the ground. I don't get quite that far because my hamstrings aren't quite that flexible, but I can get most of the way over if I bend my knees a tiny bit. The little bit of a bend you see in my knees, not super intentional. That again is the fact that my hamstrings are stronger than they are flexible. This will look slightly different on you, but what I want you to feel is your butt doing the work. If you feel this work in your back, or notice it more in your shoulders, or notice it somewhere else, really think about your hips and your butt and where they are moving. When you are thinking about what is moving on your body and how it is moving, that's how we're building that brain-body connection. When it beeps again, we're going to put the dumbbells down again. I'm going to go for another little walk. This was everything. Stand up carefully, put your dumbbells down carefully, and come back to a nice gentle walking pace. This was everything in our circuit. We are doing this circuit twice today, so we're going to be able to get some more reps in with these exercises. I chose relatively simple exercises today because we really are thinking about where our body is and what it is doing. That to me, kind of like yesterday's core strengthening work, it is some of the most foundational work you can do. We, all of us, I mean, myself totally included in this. When I first started exercising, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And frankly, when I first started exercising, the internet didn't exist the way it exists now. I mean, the internet existed, but like YouTube didn't have the kind of workouts that I do now. When it beeps again, by the way, we're doing those side step press-ups. I was looking at like pictures in magazines and stuff. I had no idea. Here we go. Pick up those dumbbells nice and carefully. Step out to the side and press up. I was guessing. Let's be honest. I was 100% guessing on what I should be doing. And I did not have any kind of brain-body connection at all. I think I told you a bit of this story yesterday about how the first couple of years I was exercising, I was injured a lot because I didn't have core strength and because I had no connection to what my body was doing. That's why I make us, during this weight loss series, really think about your body. And I know that can be kind of uncomfortable sometimes. Maybe we got here with weight to lose because we don't want to think about our body. But when you think about getting stronger, when you think about building a connection with your body, when you think about loving your body and wanting what's best for it, here we go with those oblique crunches. Feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, elbows out nice and wide, just a little bit of a squat. If it doesn't feel comfortable to squat, you can absolutely do this from a more standing position. The little bit of a squat, honestly, it helps you get a little closer to your hip. It's really a big part of it, but also it does help stabilize you a little bit more. Again, totally depends on where you are with your fitness journey and what feels best. Don't do anything that hurts. And I say that, like, this is going to be uncomfortable. Like, I know this is difficult enough that it hurts a little, but if it hurts, like if you are in pain, stop immediately, my friend. Pain is very different from discomfort. You're gonna feel some discomfort while we exercise, but if you feel pain, stop immediately, talk to your doctor, get help for pain. But so anyways, when it beeps again, we're gonna do curtsy curls. But the reason why I talk to you so much about this foundational stuff is because it took me a long time. So here we go with curtsy curls, locking those elbows right into your waist, coming down into a curtsy or kicking out to the side. Either way, you're thinking about where that leg is. What's that leg doing? What muscles are working? Where do you feel it? Squeeze those biceps while you're keeping your elbows totally locked into your waist, making those muscles move in a way that's going to help them get strong. my friends, as we get stronger, Fitbit will show your health in different ways. Fitbit will notice when you can, for example, do more, when you have more endurance, more stamina, more ability, more energy. Your Fitbit will start noticing stuff like that with things like a lower resting heart rate, things like improved sleep, things like being able to do slightly more. You might never need or want to exercise more than this, but you could in a way that would be safe and not cause injury. Go ahead and put your dumbbells down nicely. We're gonna walk one more time. Feels kind of nice, right? We shake that out a little bit. Kind of roll back your shoulders a little bit when it beeps again. In fact, speaking of rolling back your shoulders, because when it beeps again, we're gonna do that front raise, side raise. I was probably, I'm gonna say I was 2 or 3 years into my fitness journey before I picked up heavy things and put them back down again. I was at least several years into exercising regularly. I had already finished losing weight. I was fit without being strong. This is why I feel like such an ambassador to strength training for you. It is so foundational to doing the other things that you love to do. When I first started exercising, by the way, I already told you, when it beeps, we're doing the front raise, side raise. Thinking about picking up your dumbbells carefully is part of this workout though. I just want you to know that oftentimes when I see people get injured, feet about hip width apart, core pulled in nice and tight, knees are soft but strong, elbows also soft but strong. Some of the injuries that I see are actually because of picking up and putting down dumbbells between the exercises. You might be thinking very carefully about your form and about your core and about getting stronger and building muscles while you're doing the exercises, and then go flinging those dumbbells around when you're putting them back down. So being careful anytime you have something in your hands. When it beeps again, we're going to do those triangles again for the second and final time. Really thinking about breathing while we're thinking. I know, it's a lot to focus on. That's why we do this I know a minute interval is a long time, but this workout, for example, isn't all day. We're not trying to work out for hours at a time. We're not pushing our body to the max. We're pushing it in a way that we can get results from. Here we go. One hand up, the other one rolls down, down, down the side of your leg, and then pull that hip back underneath you, back to your center of gravity. And here we go on the other side. Awesome job. Yep, this one's a little bit grunty. That's totally okay. If you have found that your dumbbells are a little too heavy, drop weights. You can absolutely still build muscle, build strength, build confidence with nothing in your hands. This is what I'm telling you about strength work. It is about building the connection with your brain and your body. It's not about X number of pounds in your hands. When it beeps again, we're doing those deadlifts for the second and final time. Awesome job. Now, I will tell you from a purely scientific, biological point of view, today's workout has so much benefit for you. I know I've told you, here we go with those deadlifts. Back is super duper straight, pull in your core, push your hips back, and pull your hips forward. I know I've told you all the reasons why I think strength training is super good for you, super foundational, super important on your weight loss journey, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. There's a couple of things about it. We are building muscle. Building muscle is good for you for a couple of reasons. Building muscle actually builds your bones at the same time, and it can help protect your bones. By the way, when it beeps, we are done, but we're not quite finished. I've got one final thing for us. We're going to be doing squatted press-ups, which means that we're going to squat and then come up into a press-up. Now, the thing about this particular exercise is that it is a little bit faster paced than these other exercises we've been doing. It feels almost cardio-ish. So, thinking, like always, about having excellent form might mean that you drop your weights. It might mean that you don't come down in a squat quite as deep as I do. Here we go. We're going to squat as deeply as you can, and then we're going to press up. If you don't like to squat, then my friend, help yourself to a kick. Any kind of kick in any direction uses similar muscles and builds your brain-body connection. When you are moving in a way that is careful and controlled and using the muscles that you're trying to use and thinking about what is squeezing, what is working, then you are getting an excellent excellent workout, and I'm super, super proud of you. The thing about getting stronger, doing strength workouts like this, is that it shapes your body. Now, here on the Paula B Fitness channel, I will tell you that I do distinguish between weight loss workouts and body shaping workouts, but there's a lot of crossover between the two. I always advocate working out moderately, working at a pace and a speed and with weights that feel good to you, that don't push too hard, because the harder we work, the harder it is to meet our goals. Okay, you guys, that was it. Go ahead and put your dumbbells down, down, down. I'm gonna turn my timer off, off, off. We're gonna cool it down. Let's go ahead and do some nice arm circles. Let those muscles know that they can come back into the shape that they are supposed to be. They've been squeezing for a while now, and we can let them come on back. What a great job you did, my friends. I'm super proud of you, especially if this was the first time you've really done slow work. I will tell you, truly, I mean, of the 5 steps that you need to do each day for weight loss, where we are eating the right number of calories, we're drinking the right amount of water, we're sleeping, we're exercising moderately, and we're managing our mind, today is the manage your mind day. Today really is. I know that the monkey chatter in your brain is going to be saying, that wasn't enough, that was too slow, I didn't get steps, I wasn't very sweaty. I want you to know that today is some of the best work that you can possibly do, and reminding yourself of that, practicing the thought that you are doing something that is just right for your body, is going to take you a long way on this weight loss journey. Let's go ahead and open it up. My friend, so proud of you. Close it up, give yourself a hug, and a pat on your back, because you did wonderful work today. And then open it back up. Oh my gosh. Now here on screen, you guys, of course, I've got a longer cool down for you. Your muscles might feel this tomorrow. This was a little bit more dedicated strength than we've done on this series so far. So you might feel a little bit sore. I do actually really recommend the longer cool down to really let your muscles know that everything's okay, that this was different, but it's all right to be different sometimes. And on the other side of the screen, of course, if you haven't watched it yet, or you need the reminder, it's everything you need to know to be successful on your weight loss journey. My friends, make sure you click that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.